start our meeting. So glad to see everyone, and we'll just get down to business here because there's a bunch of stuff to do. And first, let's approve those very old minutes. If I can find them.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, these are the minutes. So does everyone approve the minutes? Say aye.
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 Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you. And so just a quick look at the agenda here so we know where we're headed. So the things I really hope to spend the most time on, so this other stuff I want to go through quickly, are the Sustainability Office job description and the Wayne Festival, because those are the two items we need to work on. So yeah, so update on waste management. I think I talked about that in our informal meeting, but for those of you that weren't there, I did attend a really good webinar that certainly has some positive information about recycling, that there are more companies that are taking recycling, including plastic, but only 1, 2, and 5, numbers 1, 2, and 5. And some of the webinar suggestions were to reduce waste by doing food composting. So suggestions were made to collect the food compost at the same time as the yard compost. They did say one of the most expensive parts of the whole waste management is transportation, picking up the stuff, so, when we work on this again, that's, something we can think about. Also, the Pennsylvania, I think you all know this, the Pennsylvania ban of banning plastic bags has been lifted. So Philadelphia has put a plastic ban in place starting next year. And I think this is something we can revisit. I don't know that we have time today to talk about it, but we were talking about this before Pennsylvania legislature forbade everybody from banning plastic bags. But now that that's over, I think we need to revisit this subject.
Well, Narberth has a plastic bag ban, as does Westchester.
Okay, I'm going to write that down because there's someone to consult.
And I don't know whether it's sort of the same thing. Media has adopted kitchen waste composting. They're working with Mother Compost from Linvilla Orchards.
Right.
And they're using yellow buckets, and they're delivering a free yellow bucket to any household who wants it. I hear it's a really good response. And the day they collect the yard waste is the day they're going to collect the food compost, which will go to Linvilla. I also took a course with the Wharton Free Institute, a 6 weeks course on plastics. And my colleague, Maureen Breen, who's still trying to get chickens legal in Philadelphia, her statement was, and I'm assuming it's correct, that a chicken will eat 83 pounds of kitchen waste, no onions, no avocados, in a year. So one of the ways to reduce food waste is to make chickens legal in Radnor Township. Now, I've been working on that for 7 years.
Okay.
But
I
should never give up.
Chickens. There's a household that has chickens and ducks. I guess they do it surreptitiously.
There are a lot of chickens in North Wayne.
Okay.
I've had chickens for 7 years. I don't ever buy eggs. They get all my peelings, and if I have salmon, which
they're not legal in Radnor.
Well, originally they tried to get rid of them because Bill Spengler thought they would run down the real estate values. And so we were mostly underground. When Bob Zinkowski came in, he said, I am not sending the police out to chase chickens. If your chickens do not elicit a complaint by a neighbor, I don't care what you do. So
Okay.
I don't know where Bill White stands with it, but I have a feeling that he has other far more important things to do than
Right.
to chase people's chickens. So
Okay.
right now it's sort of a understanding that we won't have a rooster and we'll keep the smells down. And if a neighbor complains, then the township will look into it. But otherwise, they're not going to bother.
Okay. Right.
And actually, chickens aren't illegal in Radnor. There's just been no ruling.
Oh, okay.
They're sort of in la la land. They're not for and they're not against.
Okay. All right. So just moving on then, the update on pesticides. You know, we had worked on the pesticide report for the township, and it was well received. And I spoke personally with David Simmons of the Radnor Board of Health. So, you know, if this subject comes up again, we certainly want to work together on this. And then Marie Carbonaro later weighed in and said, as of now, Delaware County has no specific plans to spray anywhere. So I don't know if this is still true, but that was the last I heard. So that's good news.
They are spraying in the lower part of the county. They're spraying along
Right.
high tension lines and along the edges of
in
highways
Okay.
and along where railroad tracks are.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the most recent thing I heard. Okay. All right. So the sustainability office thing. So let's find it. So I hope you all had a chance to look at it a little bit. And first, just bring up the letter if anybody has, oops, that's not what we want. Sorry. Anybody, that's not what we want either. Let me stop share and find my right thing.
We
Okay.
didn't get the new member approved yet still?
No, we didn't. He's been invited for an interview, but he has to wait until I guess it's the executive board meets, and then they will get the interview. And last we spoke with him, which was last week, he still does not have a date. So this is very unfortunate. But we did meet with him last week informally, I guess Sarah and I, and Ray, met. So he did contribute to, you know, our discussions about this sustainability office as well as the fall festival. So, yeah. So
Danelle, the next commissioners meeting is the 16th of August.
Oh, is
So
that when
if they have a executive meeting beforehand, that's where they'll meet with him for all of maybe 2 minutes. And then they'll vote during the meeting.
Okay. All right. So what all are you seeing? Are you seeing this memo to Radnor Township staff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was seeing the wrong thing. All right. So we had talked about last week in the informal meeting to make some short synopsis and kind of introduction to, you know, since the description is rather lengthy. So I tried to do that with this letter and to introduce the subject and to say what it is and why it's important. And then So my hope is when we get this all, finished, is to send this to like Bill White, and of course Ben Cooper, and then have them look at it, and then hopefully we'll go to the Board of Commissioners with their,
Why would we send it to them first?
well, first of all, I have to send things through Ben Cooper because he's the liaison. Last time I
But we
went
don't have
ahead-
to ask for his like
blessing. No, we don't have to ask for his blessing.
Okay.
But I would kind of think we might get it because Bill White has a lot of work, and this position could help him out,
Yeah.
in many ways. So I just, I want to go through the right channels this time because I went ahead and sent everything to the Board of Commissioners last time, and I don't think it wasn't the right thing to do, and I got told.
Margie, this note's really, really good. There's one thing I would add
Okay,
to this, which is peer pressure is works basically. So if we identified other neighboring townships that had sustainability managers or
Okay.
other neighboring communities generally, whether in Pennsylvania or outside of Pennsylvania, I think that would be a good impetus.
okay.
I think
Well,
that
that's
also
in the
applies
job
actually to
description,
the
but not in the
No,
letter.
it's in the first paragraph. You mentioned Lower Marion, and that's the only
did
one that
I?
I could find.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Did I say Lower Marion?
Yeah, maybe we.
Oh,
You did,
yes,
sorry, I missed
Okay.
that. No,
The
no,
other-
thank you.
The other
Maybe,
example, however, was a
I'd like to-
county, and I don't think we want to necessarily compare ourselves to counties because,
Yeah, I
you know.
couldn't find any other township ones, but
Okay.
if somebody knows of one, we can add
we
it.
could do some
But
final
Margie,
searching.
Margie, it might be very good in this cover letter to mention the sustainability manager for Delaware County.
What do you mean, mention it?
Well,
that there
you've
is
talked
one.
about Lower Marion, but now Delaware County has a sustainability manager.
Okay, but Lower Marion is a township, whereas Delaware County is a county.
But Delaware County is our county.
Okay, well, yeah, I know they do, but I was wondering whether that might be a reason to not have one.
I kind of agree with you, Margie. We're trying to push them, like peer pressure them for other townships
Yeah,
to have them
yeah.
because the county having one could be an excuse that they don't need to have one.
yeah. So that is why I didn't
Well,
mention it.
Your big issue is going to be money. And so this should get to Bill White well before the September commissioners meeting, because that's when they go into the budget.
Okay, well, yeah, if we're okay with the letter and then the job description, I'll send it, like tomorrow. Because, and then I'll ask for, guidance as to how to go further on this. And, if they're opposed to it, I mean, we can still ask to have it put to the Board of Commissioners. But I don't know that any of the staff would be opposed to it. I think they would only see this as a help, another pair of hands. So yeah, is there anything with this letter that you think I should be added or changed?
if we can find some more names, maybe we'll add those.
Okay, yeah, let me know if you find more names. And the fact that Lower Marion is close is good, but yeah, any names would be good here as well, for examples. Okay, so let me switch over then. So what essentially I did with the thing was pretty much took everything that, are you seeing the job description?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, took everything that was on that Google Doc, and I just rearranged it a little bit, and I added some of the suggestions that we had in our informal meeting last week. And the only new part I put in myself was this part, because Sarah had brought up how if we hook this up with a grants writer, that would be a plus for it. And then I thought I'd just give some specific sites that list so many environmental grants that are out there, and some specifically for municipalities. So I did, that's the only really new thing that's on here. Otherwise, it's just using and slightly rearranging things that were already on there.
Margie, do you still have an orphan on page 4? The copy that I printed out so that I
No.
could read it, because I don't read very well.
Oh, no,
On
there's
my
nothing on
computer.
page 4.
Okay, so you were able to pull it up,
Oh,
so
I
you
didn't,
don't have
it
a.
might have just been the way it formatted for you. Yeah, I don't think,
Well, I'm a Mac and you're probably a PC.
yeah, I'm a Mac
And then
too.
that could.
No, I'm a Mac too.
You might want to do a spell check again, because I see some blue lines and a couple of red underlines.
Okay, well, I just got rid of the stormwater underline.
I think you have an extra space in the first paragraph between grants, comma, and, because you're showing a blue
Oh,
line.
yeah, yep.
The reason for Sid and Danelle for the grant writer is that was a suggestion of Bill White and Steve Norsini, because the township does not have a grant writer. They don't have someone who can do grants.
Yeah, I remember
And
talking
so-
about that. I do think it's kind of a stretch for this position to be both qualified in sustainability and also being a grant writer, but anybody can learn how to write a grant. I've written a grant before.
Yeah, yeah, if they really want the job. So, and I did put under qualifications, preferred grant writing experience, but not meaning not necessary. I could put preferred, but not essential. Yeah.
Well, but the township thinks it is essential.
Well, this is just for the
they're-
qualifications. Yeah,
But if
But
they're
like
going to put
Donnell
out
said,
money,
we
they
can-
want to get a grant writer too.
yeah.
I think we
Like Donnell
emphasize
said-
it enough in there with the links for grants and stuff.
Yeah. It's easy to learn to write a grant, but it's not so easy to become an environmental scientist. So, yeah. So, and I don't know about other universities, but when our students graduate with a bachelor's degree, they have had to take a seminar course where they have to write a scientific grant. So, I think a lot of people these days, a lot of science students have this, at least have learned how to do it. Yeah, so anything else on this, or see any errors, or you want me to omit something or add something? With my copy and pasting, sometimes I did some weird things, so just make sure it makes sense. Yeah.
Should we let them decide the salary range?
That's
Rather
an
than us?
example from the Lower Marion position.
Shall I put that
So-
should I put salary range, example of salary range from the Lower Marion?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
think it's a good idea to write it in there because
Right,
I don't want them to think that this is somebody you can get for like $35,000 a year or
Right.
something.
right.
That's not a
But
living
you
wage
ever
in
look at
Radnor
the
Township
sa-
either.
I mean, if you look at the salaries of the township employees, they're pretty nice. They're pretty decent. So I don't think this should be shocking at all, because they didn't seem to me to be like low salary, or maybe it's just because I'm from academia and get paid terribly. Everything looks good to me. But oops, misspelled example. Okay, example of salary range from Lower Marion. Yeah, okay.
I've been looking up other townships in Delaware County and have not been able to find another sustainability officer.
Okay, and
So-
chances are there aren't. But that could make us ahead of the times and we would be the leader in this. And really, I did say in the letter that this is an overzealous description, that no one person can do all of this, but it certainly gives an idea of, some of a lot of this just being helping the township out on things. And then I put it in the perspective, which, obviously I can't say to anybody, but I keep thinking, and I'm sorry for harping on it all the time, about that $600,000 Morris Avenue project. That could have paid for 5 years of this person's salary, So, yeah. So in the scheme
Try
of
the
things
half
that
a
way,
million. How about try the $500,000 they spent on the comfort station at Emlenton
yeah, I
Field
know.
that has no way
Yeah.
to keep the bathrooms open in the winter. So they close the end of October and they open again in April. And it cost
Yeah.
$500,000.
Yeah, I mean, this is like really not expensive when you consider how much money it could save as well. And it really could. Just alone, that's just a great thing to add the grants, because if they get some of these, that, there's a lot of government grants right now, a lot. And the time is now to go for them, because we don't know what the next administration is going to have available. So the sooner we could, we could work on this, the better. Anything else from someone? What I can do is, look over it again, send it to you tomorrow sometime. You can look over it again, and then, I'll send it on to Ben and to Bill. And we'll go from there. And I'll CC you on my email to them. I mean, if we could get this through, this would be like such a single huge thing. It would be a huge thing, because so much more could be done with.
Ross Township, PA has one.
What's the name of it?
Ross, ROSS.
Okay.
But I don't know where that is in Pennsylvania. I don't know if that matters.
Okay. Do you want that in the letter or here in the introduction? I guess we should put it in the letter.
Sarah, you listen to most of the Radnor Township meetings. Who do they consider their peers?
Right.
Do they consider them peers to a township, to a county? Who are they thinking of as their benchmark?
Their neighbors are Tredyffrin, Upper Marion, Lower Marion.
That's all they benchmark against. How are we doing versus those three?
That's all they really do.
Okay.
So I'm rewording and then I'll show it to you. Let me switch over.
Not to make it more difficult, but when they were talking about hiring a sustainability person, they did not want that person to be full-time, because when it goes full-time, they get their medical, they get their retirement, they get their vacation, and it adds about 30% additional cost to the township for the benefits they get. So
Right.
They
So
were
we're trying to
talking
show
about-
though that this is going to be very cost effective. Right. So,
well, be prepared to go, to the budget meetings to plead your case,
yeah,
because it'll all come down to money.
I know. So, yeah, so I added here in the letter, townships such as Lower Marion, Ross Township, and others have hired, you always put in others, everyone knows that means no, there aren't any more. Have hired a sustainability manager to assist the township manager. And I liked putting that because I'm hoping this will get Bill on a, the side of this. And yeah. So yeah. So anything else regarding the,
There might be one other one. Let me see. You can keep
Okay.
moving. I can send it to you offline, but
oh, okay, yeah.
Westchester.
Really?
There's a man named Will Williams who's their sustainability director for Westchester Borough, not the
Yeah.
township.
Yeah, we know Will actually. We met him.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, well, I'll add that in there.
Yeah, Westchester Borough.
Right. That's Borough, right?
Yep. I feel like that's a good amount of examples.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is good. Okay. So other additions or changes for our actual job description. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll move on then to
So-
our, yeah.
Aside from this job description, what I really like is this peer pressure aspect. We should use this on the plastic bag ban as well.
Yeah.
I think we should re-push that.
Yeah, I need to contact Matt, our previous chair, because he had done a lot of work on the plastic bag situation and see what documents he has and everything. Let me write myself a note. And we're going to pick that one up again. Yeah. Okay. So if there are no other, if you get something else that occurs to you, just email me and I'll try to work on this like tomorrow, late morning or so. I have to mute myself and take this for just a second. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And hello?
We're here.
Okay. Yeah,
We're just
so
waiting.
so we're going to move on then from this. Okay. And we will move to our Wayne Festival. So, yeah, we discussed this a little in our informal meeting, And so things have changed a little. Originally, I was told they would pay for a table for us. But now I'm told that the Wayne Business Association has donated 3 tables to the township, and we are sharing one with the green team. But nobody, it is unclear. It is unclear how much space we have. The thing on the Wayne Festival website says 2-foot table. I can't see green team and us sharing a 2-foot table.
Margie, last year it was a 6-foot table that was about 3 feet wide. It's a standard
Oh, okay.
folding table.
So it's not some little
big one.
tiny
So-
thing. Okay,
Not a card
No,
table.
okay.
No,
All right.
it was not. No. it was not.
So
And
anyway,
this was not, it was not the green team's original idea either. We had volunteered to pay for a table.
yeah, I remember
but,
you told me that, yeah.
That was not acceptable to the township. So
Well, and they told me they
um,
were gonna pay for the table, and so now they apparently got these freebies, and now they want to pay for nothing. So anyway, I'm not gonna, I was a little
I'm
snarky
still
about it.
confused about the relationship between the township and the green team.
So
Yeah,
we
well,
have been accepted. We are now a subcommittee of the EAC. And Bill tried to legislate us out of existence. So at his request, the Green Team wrote a resolution that would go to John Rice, and he would put it into legalese. And I'm given to understand that John Rice said, it's already been done. This is fine. And what Robin and I got back from Bill was, I guess I tried to over legislate it. So they now accept the fact that we're an entity, is what
Well,
they
then
tried to
shouldn't you
say
be
was.
attending our meetings? Shouldn't the green team be attending our meetings if they're a subcommittee of our council?
That's up to you to decide
Right.
whether you
I mean,
want
they
them.
never
I don't know whether
consulted
you
us,
have.
so that's the weird thing. They've become a subcommittee and we never even knew about it.
Well, but Margie, we didn't know we were a subcommittee of of the EAC. That's
Okay.
something that Bill White did.
Okay, all right.
The
Well, this
whole
is good,
thing
I
is-
guess. Maybe we
It's
can
very
get more
strange.
people on it, on the everything. Okay, well,
I
Well,
suggest we
would-
merge the 2 groups under one of the labels, either green team or EAC.
No, the Green Team was an entity as of 2012 when they developed the plan, the energy plan that's sitting on a shelf someplace. So we're the group that's working on climate change is called the Green Team. You are something higher up because you're in the home rule charter. And how many members does it say you can have, Margie, on the EAC?
7.
Right.
I'm sure
We
there's no
have-
problem to changing that. I mean, we have struggled,
We don't
struggle
want to
filling that
be the
amount.
EAC. We
Okay.
already have
Margie,
8
I think-
members.
I think we have other stuff to talk about, but
Yeah, we do.
maybe
So do
you
I.
can follow up with Bill or Ben or something, just so we understand if they are a subcommittee. Like, is there an expectation that we're interacting with them in some way? Like,
Okay.
you know, we have Sarah here, but do they want another representative? It would be
Okay.
helpful to have more members too, right? Of the EAC.
Right.
And I
right.
kind of agree with Sid that we should, even if there are 2 groups and the green team is designated to do something, like we should be like collaborating more and stuff, because
Right.
I think like the sustainability officer position is something that they're probably interested in supporting as well. So
Okay, yeah, I will follow up.
Are,
Great.
is everyone on the green team EAC eligible in the sense that they're all, I don't know what the eligibility requirements are, Radnor Township residents?
one is a public health faculty member of Villanova, although she does not live in Radnor Township. And the other one, another woman, is the liaison between Tredyffrin Township and Radnor Township, because Tredyffrin wants to work with Radnor Township on climate change issues. And
I mean,
she's
we
now
should-
living in Berlin.
Yeah.
So that she's living in Tredyffrin Township and she's the liaison. Then we had two students from the high school, both of whom have graduated and are waiting for two more to be appointed from the high school. And now we have a entering sixth grader into the middle school who very much wants to work on climate change. So we're a diverse group.
Okay,
Look, if people want to be involved, Margie, we have to give them a nice, easy pathway, least resistance. Just let
Oh,
them be
yeah.
part of this as much as
oh,
possible.
definitely. Oh, I would never resist anybody. Yeah, but we do have to get back to this now because
So but
there are a couple
talk
things-
about your Wayne Festival.
Yes, there are a couple things that need to be done, and one is we want a banner. We don't want it huge since obviously there may not be a lot of room. Alternatively, instead of a banner, we could have like a poster, like a thing you could set up with an easel. I actually have an easel. And then we need the handouts. Now, I have written to a few places to see if there are free handouts available, but I got this one really great lawn site or environmental yard site that said I can use all their information and probably just, cut and paste some of it, make a little flyer. Anybody that has an idea and wants to work on a flyer, I definitely want to work on the lawn flyer and to include maybe something with pesticides. I think we also need a recycling flyer. I think those two I would like to, hand out. What are your thoughts?
For the recycling flyer, doesn't the company have something that they?
I've been I spent quite a long time today looking for recycling flyers, and I found a bunch of good ones, but there is actually one from Radnor.
Yeah, I think we could stick with what.
I mean, we could
exists already.
hand that out at the very least. We could hand that one out.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can think of anything else you would like to work on or hand out, and then going back to the poster or poster on an easel or a banner, would anyone have suggestions on that or want to work on that? My daughter is a professional graphic designer. If we get what we want on there, I could give that to her to do. Sarah says that the township has a printer that can print banners. I don't know about posters.
The
And-
township works with a printer in Wayne who
Oh,
makes their banner.
Okay,
I mean, I
Not
think if
that
they're
the
willing
township
to,
does.
if they're willing to front the bill for a banner, why wouldn't we do
Yeah.
the banner? But I
okay,
think we also, just based on our experience so far, we need to ask them what we're allowed to put on the banner.
yeah. Well, we would have to run it by them first before we go
Yeah,
for it.
but like, I'm sure they have the best version of like the township crest. Like,
Yes,
so they
yes.
should supply that, and they should tell us what the font is too, or whatever,
Okay,
and the
yeah,
colors essentially. So like, maybe we
Right.
make up a motto or something to put under it, but like, it seems pretty
Okay.
simple to me.
yeah, just the name, really just the name and the crest would probably be enough, but
Yeah.
just to identify, really what it's for is just identify ourselves.
Yeah.
That's all it's for. It's not, a piece to promote any cause or anything, just to identify ourselves. So we really need to get this festival is September 19th, which will be here before we know it. And I'm hoping to get this whole thing, next week as far as ordering the banner and, deciding on the handouts. I do still have those coloring pages from the Pumpkin Festival, which I'm going to hand out because I have them. And they're on not putting chemicals on your lawn. So might as well hand them out. And so anybody, so, we are running out of time. So anybody come up with something, just run it by us, and, this will be our opportunity. And also try and set that time aside, supposedly there are 8 chairs. I don't know how that works with a table that size, but so, right, all 4 of us could go if we want, or we could go 2 and 2, like 12 to 2 and 2 to 4, or however we want to divide it up. We'll worry about that a little later. But so it'd be nice.
Remember, Ray said he would work on a basket to have a drawing.
That's right. Yes, Ray said he would have a basket to not auction, raffle off.
Did he? Yeah, we did talk about that a couple of meetings ago. Did he reach out to anybody yet? I don't want to like double reach out.
This was last week.
Okay.
Can you check with him? Do you have Ray's email?
Yeah.
He's included. Yeah. Check with him, and you guys can work on that together then, because that would be great to get people to our table. Yeah. And Sarah, you had mentioned something about Gretchen was going to attend one of our meetings. Do you know what came of that?
Gretchen Grobel.
Right.
Do you mean Gretchen Grobel?
Right.
She does what she does. She was at Shade Tree last
Oh, I
week.
thought she was the Radnor Conservancy.
She is the executive director of the Radnor Conservancy. Yes.
Okay. Right. Because the Radnor Conservancy were the ones that gave us that apple cider for last time. I mean, gallons and gallons and gallons of apple cider. But I don't want to do that again, though. It was too distracting. All people wanted was their cup of apple cider. They took it and ran, So I don't want a handout like that. That's just too distracting and too enticing.
I don't know whether the Conservancy is going to have a table or not. I mean, you can contact her and ask her what they're doing. I'm sure they're going to be.
All of the environmental people be together. And I think I told Sarah, but not you two, I also contacted a number of companies to see if they'd want to have a table. And I thought we could have a little environmental enclave. But the cost, so I contacted Mother Compost and this environmental yard company. And they got back to me, both of them, and essentially joining the Wayne Business Association, which they have to do to buy a table, is prohibitive, so. Right. And then I contacted Hip City Veg because they're a vegan restaurant and they had a table back at the Pumpkin Festival, and they're still interested. And so they're not as a vendor, they wouldn't be selling food, they'd be giving out free samples and with a little blurb on how plant-based diets are more environmentally friendly.
Is there any chance that Mother Compost would give us a yearly subscription or something that?
Oh, that's a good idea.
You could, since you already have a dialogue with them.
Yes.
That could be part of the raffle. And if you want to continue the dialogue with Hip City Veg, a gift card would be really nice. That would be a lot less labor intensive for them. Right.
Very good idea.
Have any of you ever attended the Fall Festival before?
Mm-mm.
Yes, I think I have. I've been to all these festivals. Yeah.
Because
they're usually a mob scene.
It's pretty much of a mob scene. They're very interested in people, in food.
Yeah.
Of course, this year it's going to be an election, so there's going to be a lot of who knows what's going to happen. The last one I attended, they had a hatchet throwing contest up on West Avenue. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense where it was, but that was all right. It was very popular. It's sort of a random walk around and see
Right.
your friends.
Well, and you do
we
look
did.
at people, look at the tables. You generally walk and look at each of the tables, and we can be a little
Right.
aggressive and, you know, have a handout and say, you know, here, would you like this? If they look like the kind of people that put pesticides on their lawn, then I'll hand them that. And stuff like that. So, you know what? Whatever exposure we get is more than we have now. And that's my feeling about it. Even if only, you know, a couple dozen people register with it, it's more than we have now. And because otherwise it's been impossible really to communicate with the public. And yeah, this is something we could actually do and say, well, we accomplished it. I'm getting very frustrated at not accomplishing anything. So this is actually doable, and that's what I like about it. So ideas anytime, just, you know, send us all an email. We will have to really move on this now. It's, you know, soon August, and to get things printed and everything can sometimes take a little while. But at least we know we have the table. That's good. Anything else? Suggestions? Final words of wisdom?
Maybe a couple of petitions to sign, Margie, as well. Say,
Oh.
hey, if you're interested in shutting down the Covanta facility because users didn't sign this clipboard, if you're interested in reducing Radnor fertilizer use, sign this board, etc.
Okay.
Do that for 3 or 4 different missions that we're on, and plastic bag bans as well. So you can actually get a sense of what the crowd likes. And if they take a glass of apple juice, let's sign one of those petitions, I'm very happy. Well, it's a apple juice well spent.
Oh, yeah. Well, the apple juice, what happened with the apple juice was they would come and grab the thing of apple juice and leave that quickly. You couldn't even like say anything to them. I was like trying to shove the coloring pages into their hands, and they would.
Well, don't leave it poured out. We'll find a way around that.
It was like a really good thing that I thought, this is fantastic, but then it turned out to be, first of all, exhausting, just keeping up with pouring all that apple juice. And
well, the apple juice was donated to you, not you buying it.
Right, it was. So I was thrilled, you know, and I knew it would bring people to the table, which is great too. But really, they had eyes only for the apple juice. It was like, I was stunned. Yeah, and somebody else that was on the EAC at the time, she was there with me, and we were like, we didn't know which way to go. We couldn't move quickly enough. And Mother Compost did have a table there. They had a table next to us.
At the pumpkin festival.
Festival, yeah, but I don't want to do them again because it's about kids, and you know, and that's why they were for the apple juice too. It was not something anyone wants to look at anything serious, you know. Whereas this is, you know, business vendors, and this has a little bit more serious note to it. Yeah. So, well, if that is all for now, then we'll say goodbye and keep in touch via email. Thank you so much for everybody coming. And hopefully next month, we'll have Ray with us, and we'll do our final discussions on the Fall Festival next month.
Margie, fair warning, I'm sure two of us will be on vacation, so maybe we do an informal meeting whenever time permits next month.
Oh, okay.
But can't wait.
Oh, so you will, and who else is on vacations? Don't know?
I'm sure I will. I'm sure one of the four of us will be as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Come to some next month. So I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay. All right. If Ray's
But
still a
informal
member
meeting
and no one else is gone, we might still have a quorum. So
Of course, but informal meeting will be more than welcome anytime.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sid.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Ian.
Have a good one.
You too.